Hi everyone, welcome back to Rachel Pichler Yoga. My name is Rachel. We are on day 11 of our 1 month of yoga. So we are going to be doing a few back bends today. My favorite things. Back bends or heart openers, whatever you would like to call it. So find a little bit of space to move. Let's get started. Let's begin today by finding a nice comfy seat. And then you can take your hands and just place them on your knees. We're going to do a little seated cat and cow just to start warming up through our spine. So as you inhale, I want you to send your chest forwards and pull the shoulders back, lifting the chin a little bit. As you exhale, rounding through the back, sending the shoulders forward and dropping the chin. Inhale, chest forward. And exhale, rounding a little bit. Let's do that again. Inhale. And an exhale. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale to come back up and sit nice and tall. If your eyes are still open, feel free to close them. Let's start to slow things down here. Settling in. And we're going to add a little twist. So with an inhale, sit a little taller. And as you exhale, turn your upper body towards the right side, just as far as it lets you go. Nice, gentle twist. And with an inhale, you can start to turn yourself back to face the front. Exhale, other side, twist. Breathe. Just let your body feel that twist. Enjoy that twist. And using an inhale, slowly turning yourself back to face the front. Sitting nice and tall. Let's bring the shoulders up to the ears. Roll the shoulders back and down. And take another shoulder roll. And then one more. Awesome, you guys. All right, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Tabletop position, spread the fingers nice and wide, and then we're going to come all the way into our down dog. So whenever you're ready, tuck the toes, lift on up into downward facing dog. Taking just a few breaths here. If you want to take your dog for a little walk, pedal the feet. If you want to be still, but settling in a little bit more to the mat. Getting a better idea of how your body's feeling today as we start to move a little bit. And then using an inhale to look between the hands. Exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, halfway. And exhale. Bring your hands all the way down to the mat. Step your feet back into downward facing dog. We're going to walk our feet together here and use an inhale to lift the right foot up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, send the foot between your hands and lower your back knee. So you can keep your hands on the mat or start to lift the chest and maybe place your hands on your knee, but sinking into those hips. Opening up that hip flexor. The thing with back bends, we've got to open our hips, our backs, our core, our front body, as well as our shoulders. There's a lot of parts of the body that go into a back bend and enjoying that back bend. So we're just going to kind of warm up our entire body today. So sinking into those hips. If you want to take this a little further, maybe that left arm wants to reach up for the ceiling. Just that left arm. Use that right hand just to keep you balanced. And maybe you want to start to incorporate that back bend by just pulling the shoulders back. And I know for some this isn't available. Just go where feels right for you. This is just an option if you want to start to go there. Awesome, you guys. So most of us might be up here. Stacking the shoulders over the hips, just adding that left arm, or maybe you're even here. No arms are lifted. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, dropping your hands down if they're lifted. We'll step back into downward facing dog, and then you can stay here if you want. If you want to get a little warmer, let's flow through a vinyasa. So use an inhale, find your way into a plank. From your knees or your toes, exhale to lower yourself. Inhale. A cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet are coming together. Inhale, your left foot nice and high. Exhale, let's send it through. Lowering the back knee, setting up that lunge, getting into that hip, that right side. So sinking those hips forwards, breathe, find your balance. If you want to add the right arm, maybe reach it up and then maybe start to pull the shoulders back if it's an option. If not, just stay wherever you are. Breathing, softening the shoulders, the upper body. Awesome, you guys. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, dropping the hands. Take your front foot, step it back. Downward facing dog. Using an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, walk the feet back, downward dog. At any time you need child's pose, take it. And if you want to flow, inhale into your plank, exhale, lower, inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome, you guys. Bring your knees to the mat. We're going to come into puppy dog. So reaching our arms out in front, keeping your hips nice and high, and then just resting your forehead if you can all the way down onto the mat. So find some length through your arms. Think about lowering the chest down as well and opening those shoulders. Awesome job, you guys. Using an inhale, you can start to lift back up. We'll walk our hands in under the shoulders, finding tabletop position. We're going to start to extend our right leg out behind. So you can keep your foot down on the mat or you can lift it up into the air. If you want to add your left arm, add your left arm. But draw that belly button in. We got to create some strength, some heat through our back body, our core. So breathe, so strong. Balance. One more inhale. And exhale. Bring the knee, bring the hand down, whatever was lifted, and switch sides. Left leg's extending back. Option to lift it into the air or keep it down. Reaching the right arm forwards if you want it. Awesome job, you guys. Building even more heat through the body. Let's take another inhale. And exhale. Drop the hand, drop the knee. Wiggle those hips side to side if you want it. We're going to come all the way down onto our stomach and continue to build that heat through our back body. So a little Superman, you guys. We're going to reach our arms out in front and we're going to lift the chest. So you can push into your hands or you can lift your hands and then even lifting the legs off of the mat as well. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your back, feel all that work. Breathe. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. Relax. Feel free to stay here or use an inhale and pop back up. Breathe. Awesome, you guys. One more inhale and exhale. Relax. Take a second, maybe even rocking the hips from side to side. And eventually we'll bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes. We're just going to push ourselves all the way up onto our knees. Onto our hands and knees. If you want child's pose for a moment, you can take it. But we're going to come all the way to standing on our knees. So our first nice back bend, camel pose. So if you need any cushion under your knees, roll your mat over, get a little comfy on your knees, and bring your hands to your low back. So your fingers can point down, but if you can get them to point up, maybe try that. And you just want to think about bringing the elbows towards each other. So as you inhale, send the hips forwards, lift the chest towards the ceiling, and gently pull the elbows towards each other. And then you're just going to lean back as far as your body lets you go, only going as far as feels right. So you can keep your hands on the low back, or maybe they want to reach for your heels. If you can't quite get the heels, you can tuck your toes under to lift them a little bit higher and give you some more space to work with. But just lifting the chin from the collarbone. Awesome, you guys. We're going to take one more full breath here if you've got it. And then using an inhale to lift yourself back up. Sit on your heels. Sit nice and tall for your spine. Place your hands on your lap. Breathe. So we're going to come up and do that one more time. If you want it, feel free not to do it. Child's pose, any other pose you'd rather be in, take it. If you're coming along though, find your knees again. Hands to your low back, or maybe they're coming to the heels. You can go straight to the heels, but hips are going to come forwards, gently encouraging your elbows together. If your hands are on your low back, lift the chest, lift the chin. So this head of yours, just lift it as far as it wants to go. Any dizziness, lightheadedness, or anything like that, you've taken it a little too far. So bring the chin back towards that collarbone a little bit. Awesome, you guys. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, and use an inhale to lift up, and exhale to sit on your heels. So you can stay seated, or maybe you want to take child's pose. I'm going to keep my knees together and rest my arms at my sides, but if you want to bring your knees out wide, feel free to do that. Just bringing length back into the spine, into the neck. Finding your breath. Awesome work, you guys. So using an inhale when you're ready, just to come on up. We're going to sit on our heels unless you want to sit cross-legged for a second. We're just going to let the chin come towards the collarbone. So you can just let gravity, let the head fall. If you want a little bit extra, you can take your hands and rest them on your head. And gently, gently, just let your arms be heavy. Nice work, you guys. Letting the hands go away from the head if you were using them. And use an inhale to lift your chin back up to neutral. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. And you're just going to bring your knees over to the left side of your mat. And then we're going to come down and sit on the right hip. So our knees are kind of stacking on top of one another. We're going to start to turn the upper body and the chest towards the ground and lay down. So this is a twist, but different because we're on our stomach. We usually do this laying down. So this one's a little different. So if you can bring your hands out nice and wide, gently help lower your chest down. We're not going to stay here too long. I know it can be a lot on the chest. So just try to relax a little bit. Slowing down that breath. Soften the shoulders as much as you want to hold yourself up. What happens when you take some weight out of the arms? And then before you get too comfy here, or maybe you're extremely uncomfortable, we're going to lift up and switch sides. So just push yourself up, lift your hips, walk your knees all the way over to the other side. Let the left hip come down, checking that your knees are still stacking on top of each other. And then you can start to bring your hands to the floor and lower your chest. Awesome work, you guys. Using an inhale, pushing yourself back up. You can bring your knees to the middle of the mat, crossing the ankles, and laying all the way down. So coming onto your back. So we're going to keep the knees bent and the feet planted. And we're going to finish off with just a few more back bends. So bridge pose. Round 1, bridge pose. Using an inhale, lifting the hips off of the mat. You can walk your shoulders in, maybe even clasp your hands together. But think about bringing the collarbone towards the chin, not the chin towards the collarbone. Push into the feet, lift those hips, breathe. Awesome work, you guys. Stay for another inhale. Exhale. Let your hips come down to the mat. Keeping your feet planted, we are going to come up again. So if you want to take a break, you can skip the second set. If you know that you want to come back up, you can go into bridge. If you have wheel pose in your practice, we're going up to wheel, only if you want it. So if you know what that is, feel free to go right there. If you're not sure, we're on our hands and we're on our feet. We're making a semicircle shape with our body. So our hands are going to come beside the ears. If you can have your fingers pointing towards your shoulders, try to get there. And then we're going to be pushing into our feet and into our hands. So push on up. You can take a second and rest on your head just to regroup your hand position. But then you want to push, push, push and lift everything up. Wheel pose, an extreme heart opener, shoulder opener, the whole front of the body, the abs, the hips, the quads, everything is opening in this one. It's not available to all of us, so maybe you're in bridge pose. Wherever you are, I want you to take one more breath in and exhale. Slowly place yourself back down onto the mat. Hug your knees, rock from side to side, massage your low back. Take some deep breath here. Awesome work, you guys. So we're going to start to extend our legs up towards the ceiling. You can hang on to the back of your legs or just rest your arms at your sides. But drawing your belly button back towards your spine, just flex your feet and try and kiss your low back to the mat. So if your back is arching at all, maybe bring your hands underneath your hips. Breathe. Awesome job, you guys. We're going to lower our legs all the way down to the mat. So this could look a few different ways. Your knees could be bent, your legs could be straight. You do one leg at a time. Try to keep that low back touching the mat the whole time. Woo. Awesome job, you guys. So leaving your feet out, you can spread them nice and wide, but we're just going to take our hands behind our head and pull our chin towards our collarbone. Awesome work, you guys. Slowly letting the head come back down. Ooh, resting your arms out to your sides. Like Shavasana, but not quite Shavasana. Just take a second. We're going to do one more twist because I really feel like it. You can start to walk your... Well, actually, we're just going to bring the right knee in. Just the right knee. Hugging it towards the chest. So I asked you to bring your feet out wide before, but let's just move that left foot to the middle of the mat. So you can stay here if you want to skip the twist, or gently pull the right knee across the body. Ooh, bring that right shoulder down. And with an inhale, let's come back up. Hug your knee in, and then you can let it go. Left knee's gonna come towards the chest, right leg will be out long. Staying here or pulling the knee across for a twist. Awesome work. Using an inhale, lift back up, hug the knee in towards the chest, and then you can let it go. Now we will set up for our Shavasana. Spread the feet wide, rest your arms at your sides. Get comfy. As always, I encourage you to stay here as long as you can. Just feeling the breath, letting your body be heavy, heavy on the mat. And instead of letting the mind wander off, whenever you notice that it does that, without judgment, just bring it back to the breath. Awesome practice today. Until we meet again tomorrow, have a great day. Namaste.